各位伙伴午安。先跟大家说明一下，我原来的声音应该是很好听的，只是这2天正好有一点小小感冒哈，所以特别有磁性。那请不要用这个记忆记住我的声音。OK， 抱歉。那接下来我要介绍这一个时段的主题演讲者韩博士哈。我想大会安排我来主持，一定有特别的意义，因为在国际研讨会上，来自不同的国家，然后都是 Penn State 毕业的，所以我很想跟韩博士说，以前我们在念书的时候，我们经常喊一句话叫 "We are Penn State"， 所以韩教授，我们一起来说 "Where"， 韩教授，"We are Penn State"。OK， 好，那韩教授是 Penn State 的博士哈。那现在目前在韩国的首尔国立大学的儿童发展跟家庭学系任教。那研究的主要的专长是家庭阶段中的改变、中老年家庭跟代间关系，还有工作家庭平衡。那这几个议题，其实我本身也很有兴趣，就是工作家庭平衡。那今天韩博士要跟我们的分享的主题是韩国的家庭政策，然后特别有一个议题叫健康家庭法。那我想重点是韩博士哈，所以我们现在就请给他一个热烈的掌声。我们把时间交给韩博士。
Thank you for the nice introduction, even though I didn't understand what you said. Thank you. Good afternoon. I hope you are not sleepy after the nice lunch. And I would like to thank organizers for this wonderful opportunity, and I'm very honored to be here. And I've learned a lot this morning, listening different presentations, and I hope I can do a good presentation introducing about this Korean family policy, specifically about the Healthy Family Act. It's my first time to be in Taiwan, and even though I came yesterday, I've already enjoyed very much, and I hope this will not be the last. Anyway, the Healthy Family Act is the first explicit family policy, I would say, in Korea. We had no explicit family policy until early 2001 or 2. Well, it didn't mean that the Korean government or Korean society didn't pay attention to the well-being of the family. We did, but you know that I think it's same in Taiwan and Singapore and other countries which share this Confucian values. We think that we have these good families with these strong family norms and we don't have problems. And we think that it functions so well so that there are not much to interfere from the public sector. But reality is not that way, we all know. But it seems like the government was kind of hiding behind this strong family norm because they put priority into the economic development or other things which they think more important. And so that without explicit family policy, we have this welfare policy since 1961 and child care policies since 1990. Since 1961, we had welfare policy, and then since 1991, we had child care policies only to those families who cannot be self-reliant. And we lack the perspective that looking at the family as a unit. Well, I learned a lot from the presentation done by Dr. Stanley, that how he think important having this individualistic focus in your country. And I think it's at the different stage of development that in Korea we thought we need a focus on family perspective instead of looking at child or instead of looking at woman as a unit, that we need to look at the family. And we lack that perspective. So it was like we wouldn't say that we have had a policy, explicit family policy. And then the Framework Act on Healthy Families is the first explicit family policy that changed the paradigm of the Korean family policy areas. It enacted in 2004, and we think it's kind of a landmark social policy launched explicit. And government responded. They had to respond to the social and demographic changes, and family issues come with the social and demographic changes. They cannot hide any longer behind this, we have good, strong Korean families. So in the middle of 2000, that we began to have these changes, and government began to look at this family-specific policies. Before that, the discourse on family policy was not that much in the political areas, political discussions. Anyway, so this act is the kind of paradigm shift, as I said before. Before the act, the family policy was implicit, but after the act, it became explicit. And family matters or well-being of the family or the individuals of the family, their well-being was the private responsibility. It's responsibility of you as a father, you as a mother, or you as a human being. Now it become government responsibility and policy responsibility. And before the act, as I said in front, that we provide this, for example, child care policies to those families who cannot afford to have their own child carers or very low income families. So it was the residual and very selective approach. But after this act, we seem to think that it's become universal and preventive approach. Well, enacting act doesn't solve all the problems, so we'll get into the details later. But anyway, this paradigm shift comes so that policy become universal and also prevented instead of solving the problems of the family by applying the policy. And I'll give you short backgrounds about this social and demographic change. I thought that since we have so many experts from different parts of the world, that we all have these demographic changes as an introduction. And I know that Taiwan and Korea is very similar in terms of how we experience this demographic change. So I didn't bring the figures. I'll just go very quickly to this fertility rate change and divorce rate change. And I think that Taiwan is quite terrible, but I think the Korean is even more terrible in terms of how quick we are, the changing in this not that good, behavior. I don't know what to say. That, well, I speak Korean 365 days a year, and then at the conference I speak English, so you might have some problem understanding my English, but I'll try my best. Anyway, this rapid decreasing fertility rate is terrible. I think that it's very similar to Taiwan. 2005, it dropped to 1.08. I think you have the similar numbers. And when I was in elementary school, it was 6.0. And it dropped so drastically. And 1983, it dropped under the replacement level, and it keeps dropping. I think there are not much hope that this will go up, considering all these, problems, balancing work and families, and how much money you need to raise one child, and things like that. So this dropping of fertility rate, that really turned the signal about, there is something wrong with this family in Korea. So government began to, look at the family issues. Well, we had this very strong, push toward this having less child. Just like in Singapore, so two is enough, and then one is enough, and all those things. And now they shift this birth control policy into this encouraging more births to these families. And then increasing divorce, where this increasement of divorce comes with the decrease of marriage and also postponement of marriage. So crude marriage rate and crude divorce rate drops. And Korea used to be the most marrying people in the world. I didn't know when, until I prepared my dissertation at Penn State. I wrote this dissertation about marriage timing, and then I realized that 99% of the people get married in Korea, and I didn't know. And so, well, for example, when we have this big airplane crash, and there are some young men and women who died because of this airplane crash, and parents, they made this already died, their children get married, because we have this big, value about getting married, and dying without marriage is kind of very dreadful thing. Anyway, so the crude marriage rate remained high, even though this rapid social change and things like that. But as we enter early 21st century, it's become very different picture. So 1970, the crude marriage rate was 9.2, but by 2004, it decreased 2.3. So it's 2.3 crude marriage rate, and crude divorce rate was 0.4 in 1970, but increased to 2.9 in 2004. So very rapid decrease and very rapid increase. And that means that very strong norm about this family stability and good old marriage prevailed in Korea is not there anymore. There must be something wrong. So that's the second demographic changes that won this government. And then third one is increasing number of transnational marriages and multicultural families. We share the same trends in Taiwan and also in Singapore and other countries. But I think Korea is unique in a sense that Koreans, for 5,000 years, Koreans live there, no other ethnicities. So Koreans live, and then that Korean and that Korean generations. But now suddenly, that we have this foreign bride and also foreign workers, so that, for example, in terms of marriage, about 13.7% of marriage, of total marriage, is multinational couples. So it's very, and since it's very homogeneous, it has been so homogeneous, you can see it. I mean, in everyday lives, how it's become so diverse. So that's kind of very, big change. And government and also the politicians and also academians began to think, well, we see this as a kind of negative signal. Well, there could be different, interpretations about this trend. For example, increasing divorce rate. Maybe we have had sacrificed women to be within the marriage without giving them an option of to be out of marriage. But anyway, that increasing divorce rate is a negative signal for the well-being of, for example, children or women themselves, and also related family members. So these three key demographic changes alarmed policymakers and began to worry about this well-being of the family. But more importantly, I would think that social cost they have to, pay for this breaking down of the family. So, Framework Act on Healthy Families passed by Korean National Assembly in 2004 and enacted in January 2005. And it took quite a long time to, to pass this Framework Act in the Assembly. And I don't know how much I should say, talk to you about in detail, how it took that long. But there are, always different interests working. So our efforts to have this act is like what Dr. Stanley described. We wanted to have a track. We wanted to have a track that we could deliver the service. And when I say we means that people who are specialized in family life education and home economics, and who deals with this family studies and all these things. And we think we had very good idea about how we help families and makes them stay strong and happy, but we didn't have tracks. That most of the tracks that lead to this, the ordinary people dealing with their welfares and well-being of life is mostly confined to the licensed social workers, social welfare majors. So our home economics and family life education and all of us, we try to make this good act, and we paid a lot of times visit this congressmen and politicians, and we had this kind of, why family is important conference, and we invited, important people, all these things. We put a lot of efforts. And then it become kind of debates between different, how we'd say, different different interest groups. It's kind of ideological dispute. So many were saying, when we say healthy family, it automatically defines at the other side unhealthy family. And by saying healthy family, and by saying that if we bring it up the terminology of unhealthy, and then it's kind of penalizing those unhappy and underprivileged families. So they were very opposing of this terminology of healthy family. Why do you dichotomize healthy and unhealthy families? And that's mostly from social work, and also this women's feminist studies people were saying that. So there was a lot of debate. A lot of political and ideological debates. And so it took a lot of time and efforts. And so we are saying, when we say healthy families, it doesn't imply the structure of the family, whether it's the one parent's family, whether it's divorced or it's one person household, whatever, or same-sex marriage. The structure, we are not talking about health family in terms of structure. We are talking about in terms of function, process, relationship. But that I don't know whether it's the same in Taiwan, but in Korea, that family life education people or home economics people are considered to be a bit conservative. And so it's like we are not understanding this changing family structures as one of the diversity, and it's a changing, it's not the breakdown of the family. But we are saying that we understand that, but what we are concerned is about not the structure, but the process and function and relationship. Anyway, after this long debate and fierce debate, a lot of tension between friends, we finally passed this by this Korean National Assembly, and it provides us a track to deliver the services to the families and individuals. And Ministry of Gender Equality expanded to be the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family in 2005. So it's become the first government department to be exclusively in charge of family policy in Korea. I think I need a little bit of explanation about this sentence. Well, before this, that family was dealt by the Ministry of Health and Welfare. And then Ministry of Gender and Equality wants to have family things into their department. That Ministry of Health and Welfare was not that happy. So there was a lot of tension too. Anyway, so after this Gender Equality and Family Ministry was formed and the family things went into this ministry, it became like first department that exclusively looking at the family with this family policy perspective. So, well, most of the things I said before, but I want to make sure that before the act, before this paradigm change, it was means tested, but it's universal coverage now. And individual family responsibility, now it's a social responsibility. And beautiful thing about this act is that it really changed the ordinary people's, idea of whose responsibility. Well, we don't abandon our responsibility as an individual and family, but we think there is a government and society that we could rely on when we need support. And before ACT, we focused on deficits in families, so problem solving. But now we focus on family strengths, how makes families even more stronger and makes healthier. So it's the prevention orientation. And people began to think that family policy as a means to achieve or exercise their social rights, and regardless of family structure or regardless of their income. So it became our rights as a Korean citizen. And ACT says that this is the purpose of the ACT. They state to promote social responsibility for building healthy families and communities and improve the well-being of Korean families. And because there was a lot of debate about what's the healthy family, we were very specifically define these healthy families. Definition of healthy families are the families that satisfy family members' needs and protect family members' quality of life as a human being. So it's not, there are nothing about structures and things, but all of you know that when we say family members, there are conflicting interests and conflicting, well-beings and conflicting needs. So it's not that simple saying this and then really doing things. But anyway, so this become the very first explicit family policies aimed at improving the quality of life of the families. And healthy family support centers we have, and local government. So we says that from the ACT, we need to have healthy family support centers. This is the kind of track that will deliver and deliver the services. And certified healthy family specialists deliver various family services. And as of 2010, more than 100 HFSCs with qualified specialists have been established across the nation. And the latest number is 150 centers in Korea. And HFS, Healthy Family Service Center systems looked like this, a top-down and three-tier structures. So there is a headquarters, and then province HFSC, and then local HFSC. So the headquarters are in charge of this all the nation's centers. And what they do, headquarters, they manage and support province and local HFSCs. And so they are like the brain, in terms of if we use analogy. And then they provide operational guidelines for province and local centers, because they want to make sure that these local centers and province centers practice the core mission of the Act and uphold similar service quality standards across the nation. So that's one of the important things that headquarters do. And then another important thing is the evaluation. So they evaluate local centers every 3 years and constantly provide professional development programs for staff, so that staff at province and local HFCS, they have this educational programs provided by this headquarters, and they have to, join and get the, this new informations and things like that. And this headquarters, for example, that one of the reasons why we tried hard to build a track is, I don't know if I have to say, but it's like that it's opened the job market for the students who specialize in family life educations and things like that. So many good graduates of Seoul National University now works at headquarters, and they are doing beautiful jobs about looking at how each local community centers doing their jobs and things like that. And then below the headquarters we have province HFCS, and the role of this province HFCS is a bridge linking headquarters to local HFCS. So for example, province, they provide support for both the headquarters and local HFCS, because there's headquarters in Seoul area, they cannot go to the province, every day or things like that. And they have, I'll talk to you about this limited finance, funding things, but they lack this financial, resources to monitor all the provinces. So this province has family support centers. They provide support to the headquarters. They provide materials and also informations. So the headquarters could work on, monitoring these local centers. And province also help local health family support centers. And they develop programs reflecting regional characteristics, because even though Korea is a small country, it's so different. And so sometimes we say, I thought we live in small countries, but it's very huge, very big country, because it's so different. Each province, different cultural and also ecological, conditions. So this province, they develop programs suits best for their regional characteristics, because there is a unique needs of the residents in different regions, different provinces. So there are provinces richer than other provinces. There are provinces much more mountainous, so it's difficult to provide support to this individual families. So different provinces has different needs. So province healthy family support service centers do those kind of programming. And then local centers, they are the people, or they are the centers who interact directly with the local people. So, oh no, I forgot that. And anyway, the provinces so help these local centers who do well in terms of their missions. And then province HFCs evaluate how these local centers do their job. And so it's the province who decide which local centers will continue in terms of getting a fund and do their jobs. So it's province HFCS evaluation is very critical for the successful enactment of this system, and also for the local centers to do their jobs. And then local health family support centers, they provide, as I just said, direct and customized services for the families in their local areas. And I was asked to speak specifically about this act. But when we say family policy in Korea, we have 3 main policy areas. And one is this work and family issues, because as like Taiwan and in other countries, because of this low birth rate, people are concerned maybe it's because of the young women who have difficulties balancing work and family, they don't have babies. So having this family-friendly and childbirth-friendly workplace is very important. So 2008, we passed Act on Equal Employment and Supportive Work-Family Balance Act, and that became effective 2008. And another thing that I explained you about increased multinational families. So we had this multicultural family centers, and we started it 2006, having this local multicultural family support centers. And it started with 21 centers in 2006. Now it's more than 170. And most of this HFCSC, Healthy Family Service Centers, works very closely to these multicultural family support centers, because many of these areas, especially in rural areas, that this problem with this family and also problem with this multicultural marriage comes very closely. So most of these local centers works very closely with this multicultural family support center and provide direct and customized service for the families. And I thought that you might be kind of bored, so I thought, well, I'll show you some pictures. This is from the one of the local health family service centers. And Gwanak-gu is where Seoul National University is located. And actually, Seoul National University, College of Human Ecology, Department of Family Studies and Human Development, we are operating this program for the people living in Gwanak areas. And last year, we were selected as the best local centers in Korea. Anyway, it's kind of how this university interact with the community, and not only doing a research and educating a student, but how we translate our research results into these communities. And it is very well received by the community people in Gwanak-gu area. And Gwanak-gu area, where Seoul National University is located, is not the wealthiest district in Seoul. So I would say it's not the wealthiest. It's not the poorest, but it will be sooner if we count from the bottom. So there are many families, low incomes, and also from because it has some industrial part. So there are foreign workers who works and live in Gwanak area. And so we are making many efforts to bring them into these centers. And this is as you said, is a program, one of the program, Making Mug of Love for family members. And you see that families and children of the families, mothers, children, and then young girls and boys, some of them are from our department. They are students, so they have this experience working with the families in how we could contribute what we learn at the class to the family members. So they write something about how they appreciate the love of the other members. I don't know about the Chinese culture, but in Korean culture, we don't say much out loud about out loud about how we love each other, especially men, and also between parents and children. So we said it will be a good idea that we make explicit, expression, and then bake it, and then give it to family members. And it's more of the scene. So we are making it, and then we'll put it into this oven, and they will bake it. And we could use this. We are using one of the classrooms inside of campus, and we could use this oven at the College of Art. They are very supportive. They will let us use their facilities. Now they are happy with the outcomes. And then this is Father's Call. I don't know if you can see this father's face. They look very serious. So it's like that Dr. Stanley says that going to the individual level, well, even though we says that it's the couple program and family program, it's really hard to see men in that program. It's only woman comes. So there we are even saying that after they attend this program, they go back home and they fight, because only wives learn about how important it is to be a good father. Without man doesn't know anything. So anyway, so we are trying hard to bringing this man into this family life education program. And there are two kind of, roughly two kind of program for the geared to this man. One is couple things, so how to make a good, better marriage, and the other is how to become a good father. And seems like Korean men are not that much interested in being a good husband, but they have higher, attendance when we say that we'll teach you how to become a good father. So, and maybe because it's from the good university, they would think that maybe coming to this Seoul National University Father School, the child could get into Seoul National University when they grow up. I don't know. They are very serious and they come. And we said that one of the things that we really emphasize, that if you want to have a good child, a well-grown-up child, and want to be a good father, first thing you do is to be a good husband. So we are trying to, give them a message. It's not only father, mother, or child. It's a family thing. Anyway, and then so they are here with their babies, a child, doing things together. And I've been doing some fatherhood studies and compare these different generations of fathers. And baby boomers or the fathers in the Middle Ages, when we asked, what do you have memory with your fathers? What do you have? What kind of memory you have with your fathers? And people are having hard time to come up with the memories of doing something with their fathers. So we thought that it will be very nice giving them an opportunity to do something with their children. These fathers, young fathers, they want to be a good father, and when the babies are babies, they were very supportive, helping their wives. They are different from their fathers, old people. But after these kids become kindergarteners or elementary school, fathers don't know what to do. So we are trying to teach them how to do fathering when babies are not babies anymore. So you see, they are making cookies and things like that together. So I think it might be some of these men might be the first time they do something looks like cooking. We compared Koreans, Japanese, Chinese, and also from Hong Kong, from EASS data, which Dr. Lee Chun worked. And Korean men was the worst in terms of how they support this cooking and family matters. Anyway, and then the other thing is the family volunteers, and it's cleaning the Gwanakgo area. And I'll show you. I'm showing you this. I will explain to you more about this. Anyway, it's one of the things that we are hoping to have family-friendly, family-supportive neighborhood. And not only spend more time with your own family, but spending more time with other families in the community. I think it's one of the steps that become or building family-friendly communities. Because in Seoul especially, Korea, in Seoul especially, it's a big city, and it's kind of, you know, privacy is so important. We don't have many neighbors interacting with each other, so we thought it will be a good program. So we meet as a family volunteers and talk about how we make a better place, their neighborhoods, and by doing that, we got to know each other and spend more time with other families. So this is one of the things that we do. And then we have Saturday Father School. So Saturday is, we're supposed not to work at Saturday. So then fathers have no excuse not to come to the school. So we opened this Saturday Father School, and there is a lot of interest about from the young fathers about doing a fathering, because I don't know if you had chance to watch it. In Korea, one of the very popular TV program these days is Going Somewhere with Father. And then this, you know, one famous singer, one famous actress, and one famous, anyway, these celebrities with small kids, they camp out. And that's one of the programs. And it become very popular and give the message to the public that fathers can be intimate with their children. And so now there is a lot of interest coming up. And so this Saturday Father School, we are very happy, pleased with the fact that many attendants are, And we have problem with middle-aged. I talked with Dr. Lin that this year that number of divorce of those couple who married less than 3 years, and the number of divorce who married more than 30 years, the later number exceed the earlier divorce. So it's become very, very problematic how not only we make these young people prepare for the marriage, but once they married, how we will make them stay in there. And I don't know whether that's realistic, you know, realistic expectation that you made a decision at 25 and then live 70 more years with that decision. So with this increased life expectancy, I don't know. But we think it's really serious in Korea. So this intervention program for the middle-aged spouses is getting a lot of attention. And that this is one of the things that local healthy family service centers are doing. And if one center, in one local centers does one program and turns out to be very successful, and we report it to the headquarters, and then headquarters disseminate that information, how you develop that and what's the examples and things like that. So there are a lot of sharing of the information that helps. Anyway, let me give you more specifics of this local health family support service centers programs. One is family life education. And it's most popular programs among these six areas of services that about 30% of the programs offered are this family life education, in terms of number of the participants and things like that. And this family life education program could be divided into two kinds. One is lifespan lifespan programs, so lifespan specific programs. So for the young couples, or for the adolescents, or for the middle-aged or later families. So we have different programs for the different lifespan families. And then theme specific, so like financial management programs, or resource management programs, or couple communication programs. Those are the popular, very popular themes, that how to manage your money and how to communicate with each other. So those are the rough, groupings of the programs. And within that categories, there are many different programs. And local centers, they work hard to develop very creative and interesting programs, because it's their outcomes depends. I mean, their funding, next year's funding will be dependent on the outcomes. So we see a lot of interesting family life education programs. And then second is family counseling. And either it's on-site or phone or online counseling. So, usually no cost or very low. So if we think we need to get some, that have to pay something very low cost. And family counseling dealing with all the problems that this local people wants to, resolve. And we also provide specifically about this divorcing couples, how to mediate this divorcing process, and divorcing couple counseling. And we have had these changes in divorce law, because divorce is so increasing rapidly that you have to have counseling before you file a divorce. So it's very strongly encouraged. So that family counseling works together with the family court. So that that family court, when couple comes and wants to file a divorce, and then they order, why don't you go and get a counseling before you finalize your divorce. So this is, and it looks like it's been effective, because many people were saying that, okay, after we talk to these local centers, that we decide, or we will wait for another 1 year, or things like that. And then we provide complementary child care services. Complementary means that there are services that needs to be provided, but for example, when you have school holidays, and but mother, father has to work, and then child don't know where to go. So that's where these local centers provide child care. And also there are times that for the various reasons that school doesn't provide class, and then we have these local centers that we can count on. And they also provide after-school care, so that the after school, that father has to work longer than this, so that before they come to school, come to home, that this child can go to the local centers. And then first one is the family-friendly community building. I've shown you the pictures, how as a team, volunteers, families work to improve the environment of the community. It's not only cleaning the neighborhood or the things like that, but it's like a family-friendly culture. We try to build a family-friendly culture. In that sense, family is not your own family. It's a family who share the communities. And by sharing communities and expand the concept of family, it's very good, very important step to build family-friendly communities. And so that's another mission or services that we organize. And then emergency support for vulnerable families. And vulnerable families, as you can imagine, like one-parent families or parents or families with special needs children. We don't have well-established, comprehensive, social support system for these families with special needs children with severe disabilities and things like that. So those are the things that we support under this heading of emergency support for vulnerable families. And also, like multicultural families sometimes comes under this emergency vulnerable families. Anyway, and these vulnerable families, we focus or we try to give them a comprehensive support. Instead of focusing on one areas, we try to, because usually their problems come as a package. So we approach them as a comprehensive case management. So not only their relationship or their specific problems, but other areas of life which is important for the quality of life. So it's very comprehensive approach. And then last is community networking. It's building a partnership with community organizations. So it includes like schools and NGOs, NPOs, and also local administrations. Because if you want to make a good communities and family-friendly communities, you need a partner in those areas. School and family and this administrative offices and things like that. And this is very good means of providing systematic support to these needy families or families with some problems and things like that. So that's the kind of thing that we are trying to do. And well, I think it's time to stop a bit. And do you have any questions regarding these 6 areas? Otherwise, I will continue to talk. Okay. And we believe that we have accomplished something. In terms of number-wise, there has been dramatic increase of the people who use the local centers and various programs offered by local centers and also province centers. And so I think we have established successfully and expanded service capacity because there is increase of the number of the local centers. And this is number of center users. So we have 4 different areas of service that I made a graph. Others are too low that I didn't put into the graph. But the green ones is about the family culture. We try to change the culture of the family, too much patriarchal to equal and democratic families and sharing families, so that programs about this changing cultural atmosphere of the family, the users are increased very dramatically. You could see from the green line. And others are also in the increasing trends. The blue line is family life education. There's steady increase. And then the purple line is the counseling. So especially after 2007, 2008, it's becoming steady. And then the yellow one is the family support. And it was a peak at 2009. It's after the the economic oil shock that we had. And then right after 1 or 2 years after, it become very dramatic increase. Now it's kind of middle down. And this is the number of the people who use these services, and I just show the numbers trends there. And this is the summary of the users' statistics. So number of people who received Healthy Family Service Center service grow more than 8 times between 2005 to 2009. This is the statistics provided by the headquarters. And then 2009, when we divided the kind of programs that they used, as I said before, that 32% is the family life education program, and 21% emergency support, and about the same percentage people participate family-friendly community building programs. And it's becoming very popular because it's not only give them a good feeling that they do something, they have done something to the community, but it become very fun activities for the people, for the family, and also the neighbors. And then 16% family counseling, and then about 8 to 9% complementary child care services. The numbers varies depending on which local centers you are looking at, but this is the kind of summary. And why we, as I said, that we are hoping, or we think that it's kind of successfully established. It has been that long time, but we think it's kind of established. And we think the reason for the rather well-received development, 2 reasons. One is that we need a strong family policy. That's not the priority issues in 20 years ago, but now we think that it's really a big issue that everybody should think about. So there is increased concern, and with that there is widely accepted consensus on the need for a strong family policy. And then second is, we would say that general economic growth. Well, it's not growing anymore, but anyway, the last 20 years or 30 years, that Korean economy has been growing steadily. And when we don't have, I mean, GDP has grown. And when we don't have, financial resources and materials, government had to put the priority into the economic things. And now it's time that they could put, set aside some of the money, small amount, but set aside some of the money. And this economic growth not only give the room for the government to invest to the family policy, but at the same time, this economic growth diversify the needs of the ordinary people in terms of family life. So old days, you just stay together as long as your husband doesn't beat you. But these days, you don't want to stay together if you don't feel happy or be loved by your husband. So it's like after your basic needs is accomplished, your needs very diversified and things like that. So that's one of the reasons I think that people come out and taking the courses and come to the programs in order to be a good father or good wife and things like that. So that's the second reason we think. This is the GDP, and now we don't know where it goes. Anyway, but we are facing the challenges, and the biggest challenge is government funding has grown very slowly. That I told you that the number of users grown like more than 8 times, and government funding is there. It's not growing, even ourselves, we cannot ask to the government for the more money because the Korean economy, I don't think is that good. So anyway, we have many other things to take care of. Korean economy is good, okay? Anyway, and then second was that demand for service often exceed the capacity. or local health family service centers. And this is particularly problematic for the local centers in terms of personnel, how many staffs can you have, because that's directly related with the quality of the program, but at the same time, financial resources. So that their ability to meet the needs or demands of the service is the problem. And then third problem, I think it's a very serious problem we should, Koreans should look at very carefully, is the inconsistency in the quality of services. Even though these headquarters and provinces try to put the standard and monitor and evaluate, the quality of services is different from each other depending on the centers. So that's one of the problems I think we have to solve if we want to make it better centers and better programs. And that's related with first challenges that we are facing is the program evaluation. We need more rigorous program evaluations. What centers usually do is they do this satisfaction survey after the program. And that you'd sensed when I talked about how that operate these 3 tiers. As a local center, they wouldn't want to have bad results because that's related with whether they will have next funding. And they lack this information or knowledge or skills to exercise rigorous evaluation programs. So the easy way is ask these program participants after the program, how satisfied are you? So that's not the best way of evaluation. Not only we have only the short-term effectiveness, but the way we praise the question brings the different answers. So satisfaction surveys lack the evidence about program effectiveness and accountability. So evidence-based program evaluation and evidence-based policy, that's the thing that we have to work more. And so that's the kind of challenges that we are facing. And I think I skipped one thing that I thought would be important information for you is that for this licensed healthy family support service, how you get the license. And in order for you to get the license, you need to take 12 3-credit courses at the undergraduate level. So once you graduate with this, and there are like 5 core courses and then 4 theory courses related with family life education, and then 3 counseling or therapy or education, family life education courses. So when you get all these credits from 12 courses, you are qualified to be a healthy family service specialist. Of course, you have to pass the certain qualifications by doing the test. Anyway, so that's where that, and since we have now 150 centers all over the country, that means expansion of the job market for the home economics or family life education majors. And when we try to enact this act, I said that there was a strong opposition, but now that we work together, join together, so many social work organizations, they also provide service as local centers. So not only family and home economics and family life education majored, but social work and all other and also we have many church, Catholic and Protestant church, and many NGOs and NPOs. The various organizations provide or work as local centers, and so it's a good start. We are hoping to have better outcomes, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. I don't have a time with me. I was hoping that have one. Okay, so thank you for the listening. Thank you.
非常感谢韩教授在短短的1个钟头里面，那么样的完整的把韩国的健康家庭法跟我们分享哈。那我想全世界各国都面临同样的挑战，就是人口跟家庭的变迁，不管是韩国，不管是新加坡、澳洲、台湾，那美国其实都一样。但是我想，我们都致力于在很努力，家庭生活教育工作者都很努力，要让我们的家庭生活品质变得更好，这是我们共同努力的目标。那我相信大家听完以后也觉得，韩国的健康家庭法跟台湾的家庭教育法其实有异曲同工之妙，只是巧妙各有不同。那我想今天的研讨会，其实在开宗明义那个前言的地方，黄老师其实写得非常清楚。就是我们有共同的目标，但有一个很重要是家庭教育法在台湾实施10周年，正是要我们回顾过去、展望未来的时间哈。那这个各国的这些经验，都是让我们可以在修法的时候做一些参考。我想刚刚韩教授已经把非常仔细的这个韩国的健康家庭法讲得非常的清楚，里面也有我们很多可以学习的地方。那因为时间的关系，没有办法让大家提问，所以我们用最热烈的掌声，谢谢韩教授。那如果有问题的话，那我们就在明天的综合座谈的时候一起提出来请教韩教授。其实我很想知道是他刚刚讲的 Work and Family Balance Act， 我是很想听。OK， 好，那明天我再来提问。那现在我们要用一个我们的这个大会准备了一张那个感谢状来谢谢韩教授跟我们的分享。
谢谢韩教授。